Welcome, Vancouver home buyers. Are you dreaming of that perfect townhouse, the ideal balance between a sprawling house and a compact condo? Many people believe a townhouse is that sweet spot, the ultimate stepping stone or downsize. But here is the stark reality. In a market as unique and competitive as Vancouver, buying the wrong type of townhouse isn't just a misstep. It could easily be $1 million mistake that traps your family in an unlivable layout or burdens you with a financial ticking time bomb. I've seen it all in my years helping families navigate this market, from unexpected fees that cripple budgets to designs that make daily life a frustrating uphill battle. This video is going to expose the 8 most costly mistakes you absolutely must avoid, saving you not just money, but invaluable time, energy, and a whole lot of frustration. Stick with me until the very end, because I am not only going to reveal these pitfalls, but I'll also share the one type of townhouse that consistently holds its value, making it the smartest investment for your family. Let's make sure your townhouse dream doesn't turn into a nightmare. My name is Olivia, and am your dedicated Vancouver realtor. With years of experience, not just in navigating the complex real estate market, but also with a solid background in construction from wood frame to concrete builds, I bring a unique perspective to helping you find a home that will appreciate well, serve your family for years, and most importantly, not give you a bunch of headaches. Let's get started. Mistake number 1. Not fully understanding the different types of townhomes and their strata realities. This might sound basic, but it's foundational. When we talk about townhouses in Vancouver, we're not talking about a single, uniform product. There are 2 primary categories, and understanding the differences is crucial to your budget and lifestyle. First, you have the standalone townhome, or those in smaller, pure townhouse developments, typically ranging from 20 to 35 units. These are predominantly wood frame construction. Though concrete ones do exist, they are highly desirable and incredibly rare. On the flip side, you have townhomes that are attached to larger strata plans, often at the base of high-rise condo buildings. These are almost always concrete construction, even if your unit is on the first floor. Now, let's weigh the pros and cons. Concrete townhomes, usually part of those larger strata complexes, offer superior soundproofing, excellent insulating properties, and enhanced rigidity and fire suppression components, a significant peace of mind, especially in a city like Vancouver. However, these benefits come with a steeper price tag per second square foot. More critically, your maintenance fees, known as strata fees, are going to be substantially higher. Why? Because you are contributing to the upkeep of the entire high-rise building, which often includes a vast footprint, multiple parking levels, and a host of luxury amenities like concierges, pools, saunas, and gyms. These amenities, while appealing on paper, rarely get used by most residents, yet you are paying for their maintenance on a unit entitlement basis. I've seen examples where a standalone townhouse might have a strata fee of around $400, while a comparable unit in a large concrete complex could be over $1,000. That difference of $600 a month doesn't just impact your monthly budget, it directly affects your purchasing power. A $600 difference in strata fees can reduce your lending capacity by as much as $100,000. Is that worth the amenities you might never use? That's food for thought. Beyond just the cost, remember that when you buy a townhouse, regardless of its type, you are part of a strata. This means you are not buying a single-family home where you have complete autonomy. You own a portion of the land and the building, but with that ownership comes adherence to a strata council, a property management company, and a set of rules and bylaws. From pet policies to renovation guidelines, you must do your due diligence and understand these regulations. Reading through hundreds of pages of strata documents, the minutes, budgets, and contingency reserve fund reports is absolutely critical. This isn't just paperwork. It's a window into the financial health and operational dynamics of the building. A building with a reactive rather than proactive strata, or one with an underfunded contingency reserve, can spell financial disaster down the road. You are living in a community, and mutual respect and adherence to rules are essential, or you could face substantial fines, as some clients have learned the hard way. Mistake number 2. Overlooking unique lending and legal classifications, especially leaseholds. This is a hidden trap for many first-time townhouse buyers. Some mortgage lenders have very specific and sometimes unusual requirements for townhouses. Here is a prime example: a ground-level unit with its own street address. Even if it's physically similar to a condo, is often categorized as a townhouse by lenders. This designation can have significant implications. For instance, some major banks, like the Bank of Montreal, have minimum size requirements for townhouses, sometimes as high as 850 square feet. If you are eyeing a charming bachelor unit under 500 square feet that happens to have its own entrance and address, it could be classified as a townhouse, and securing financing might require manager approval and significantly more time, potentially blowing up a deal during a tight 7 to 10 day subject period. Communication with your realtor and lender before making an offer is paramount to avoid these frustrations. Even more precarious is the leasehold illusion. You might stumble upon a townhouse that seems like an incredible deal, priced $300,000 to $400,000 less than comparable freehold properties. It looks like a steal, but what you are seeing is a ticking clock. With a leasehold, you don't own the land, you merely acquire the right to use it for a specified period, typically a 99-year lease. While everything built on the land is yours, the ground beneath is not. As the lease term dwindles, the property becomes increasingly challenging to sell. Why? Because securing a mortgage on a leasehold property can be difficult, and the pool of potential buyers shrinks dramatically as realtors and buyers become wary. If you are not planning on passing the property on, and is not intended as a long-term investment or retirement nest egg, a leasehold might, in rare cases, make sense. But for the vast majority of buyers, especially families, avoiding leasehold townhouses and focusing on freehold properties is a non-negotiable step to protect your investment. Mistake number 3. Neglecting parking and storage realities. You'd be surprised how often buyers overlook these seemingly minor details, only to find them becoming major daily frustrations and impacting future resale value. Let's talk parking first. Not all parking is created equal. When you are in a large strata complex, your parking stall might be a small car spot, impeded by sprinkler pipes or HVAC units, located on the deepest level like P8 or mismatched from your other stalls. Imagine lugging groceries or kids up multiple levels or struggling to maneuver in a tight spot. These daily inconveniences chip away at your quality of life. The absolute ideal and a massive selling feature is a dedicated private garage, especially a double-width one, where both cars fit side by side with extra space for storage. These are a rare commodity and command a premium. Then T here is the tandem relationship tester. This is where one car parks directly in front of the other. While it technically gives you 2 spots, it forces a daily game of musical chairs with your vehicles, leading to constant negotiation and potential friction with your partner. Trust me, many couples find this incredibly irritating. Side-by-side parking or a double-width garage offers unparalleled convenience and contributes significantly to a happier household. In some standalone townhomes, you might get a single or double detached garage. But in Vancouver, where land is a premium, many will still feature a small shared parkade, or in some cases no parking at all. Are you prepared for the inconvenience of no secure parking, having to scrape your windshield in the rain, or carrying everything from the street? Don't assume a 2 or 3 bedroom townhouse guarantees you 2 or 3 parking stalls. Investigate every detail of your parking options. Closely related is storage, the no storage nightmare. Developers often prioritize visible square footage, creating beautiful units, but neglecting the practicalities of family life. Young families, in particular, accumulate a lot of stuff. Seasonal items like Christmas trees, skis, toboggans, or life vests, outgrown clothes, and general household clutter. Where will it all go? If your unit has underground parking, you likely have no ability to use that space for storage. Small storage lockers, while better than nothing, are often tiny, perhaps 3 by 4 feet, barely enough for a few suitcases. What you really need is an attic, a crawl space, a dedicated interior storage room, or a garage that's large enough to actually store more than just your car. A 1-bedroom unit with a 160 square foot crawl space offers incredible value because of this often overlooked necessity. Don't get distracted by bells and whistles. Think about the long-term practicality of storage for your growing family. Mistake number 4, misjudging layout, usability, and noise levels. Total square footage can be incredibly misleading. This brings us to the Stairmaster silo. Many townhouses in Vancouver, due to rising land values, are built taller and narrower, often spanning 3, 4, or even 5 levels, if you count a rooftop patio or a basement parkade access. While these units might boast a large total square footage, a significant portion of that space is consumed by stairwells and small, confined hallways, making it unusable. Moving large furniture, like a king-size bed, can become an impossible mission. Beyond moving, consider daily life. Constantly running up and down 3 or 4 flights of stairs for a forgotten item, carrying groceries, or attending to a crying baby 2 floors above. This constant up and down can be exhausting, especially for older residents or those with young children or pets who struggle with steep pitches. 2-level townhouses or single-floor units with their own address tend to offer much more usable flowing space that feels more like a home. Focus on the floor plan and how the space is truly utilized, not just the number on paper. Then T here is the dungeon, or the reverse plan. This layout places bedrooms downstairs and the main living areas and outdoor space upstairs. While some might find the idea novel, most buyers find it odd and uncomfortable. Imagine guests walking directly past your private bedrooms to get to the living room. It lacks privacy and can make bedrooms feel dark and cold, especially if they're below ground level. While there are rare exceptions where a reverse plan makes sense, perhaps in a unit with spectacular views that are maximized from an upper living room, or on a very quiet side street where darker bedrooms are a plus for sleeping. Generally, these units are much harder to sell because most buyers simply don't like the feel. Finally, we have the issue of noise and soundproofing, particularly relevant in the highway hostage scenario. If you are buying a wood-frame townhome, it's critical to understand the construction quality. Are the walls 2x4, 2x6, or even 2x8? Wider lumber means better soundproofing. What kind of insulation was used? Dense mineral wool is superior to fluffy pink insulation. The type of windows, double or triple pane, also makes a huge difference. Even a seemingly small detail like radiant in floor heating which requires 1.5 inches of soft-set concrete, can add a significant sound barrier between floors. But above all, be cautious of townhouses facing busy arterial streets like Clark, Knight, or Broadway. These highway hostages suffer from constant noise pollution, dust, and even vibrations from heavy truck traffic. I've seen cases where a building might shake with passing trucks. Not only does this severely impact your daily enjoyment, but it makes the property incredibly challenging to resell, as at least 50% of buyers will immediately dismiss a unit on a busy street, even if a small section of that street is comparatively quieter. Always verify the actual noise levels, ideally by visiting during peak traffic hours. Mistake number 5. Failing to consider long-term value and family needs. Buying a townhouse is a significant investment, and you need to approach it with an eye on the future. My advice is always to plan on living in a home for a minimum of 5 years. Selling sooner can put you in a financially disadvantageous position, especially with property transfer taxes and for pre-sales GST. With the Vancouver townhouse market remaining relatively flat for the last few years, you need time to build equity. Key to long-term value is the property's appeal to future buyers. This means an efficient floor plan, ample storage, as discussed, and proper parking options. The quality of construction also plays a massive role. If you plan on doing updates, keep meticulous records and receipts. These can significantly boost your resale value. One of the most critical long-term considerations is the number of bedrooms. Many people move to townhouses because they've outgrown their condos and need more space, especially for a growing family, but can't afford a detached house. A 2-bedroom townhouse is often a mistake. Why? Because it essentially competes with condos, which are typically smaller and have lower maintenance fees. This caps its value and limits your buyer pool. If you can afford it, always strive for a 3-bedroom unit. A 3-bedroom townhouse offers much greater flexibility, broader appeal to families, and stronger appreciation potential. It truly fills that critical niche between condos and detached homes. Another danger is the lipstick on a pig scenario. This refers to older townhouses, perhaps from the 80s or 90s, that haven't been rain-screened and have underlying structural issues, but have received a superficial, gorgeous renovation inside. Stainless steel appliances, hardwood floors, quartz countertops. It all looks amazing in photos. But you are getting tricked. The building itself is a disaster waiting to happen. The exterior, the envelope, and the overall structural integrity are your biggest assets or your biggest liabilities. Renovation costs for the exterior, especially for rain screening projects, can be staggering, often hundreds of thousands of dollars per unit, not for the whole development. Do not let beautiful finishes distract you from digging deep into the building's condition, strata documents, and engineering reports. An attractive interior is worthless if the building itself is falling apart. Mistake number 6. The toxic strata relationship. As we've established, buying a townhouse means joining a strata. And while larger stratas can have their challenges, smaller townhouse stratas, typically ranging from 5 to 30 units, can be particularly susceptible to toxic relationships. This is when a few individuals or factions within the strata create an unpleasant, confrontational, or even litigious environment for everyone else. Imagine living in a community where you're constantly dealing with arguments, power struggles, or members dominating decisions. It can make daily life a living nightmare and even lead to costly lawsuits for the strata, which ultimately impacts your finances. How do you avoid this? Beyond thoroughly reviewing the strata minutes for any signs of disputes, disagreements, or legal actions. A really smart move is to talk to residents who already live there. Ask them what it's like, how long they've lived there, and what their experience has been. Of course, take their input with a grain of salt. One person might be overly pessimistic, another overly optimistic, or you might even be talking to the problem resident themselves. But talking to multiple residents can give you a crucial qualitative insight into the community's health that no document can provide. If you sense too many red flags or feel an overwhelming negative vibe, seriously consider walking away. A peaceful living environment is invaluable. Mistake number 7. Not considering a duplex as a superior alternative. Often, buyers set their sights exclusively on townhouses without realizing that a half duplex can be a far superior option, sometimes at a surprisingly similar price point. The fundamental difference. With a half duplex, you own a much larger portion of the land upon which your home is built. In real estate, land is king. While a townhouse offers a small slice of the overall footprint, a half duplex grants you half of the entire lot, which significantly boosts its long-term value and appreciation potential, especially if a developer ever wants to acquire the land for future multiplex development. You are sharing the property with just one other homeowner, meaning vastly more privacy and far fewer regulations. There is no formal strata council in the traditional sense, and thus no prescriptive monthly strata fees. While it's always wise for duplex owners to set aside money for shared repairs, you retain full control over those funds and decisions. This flexibility is a huge advantage. Furthermore, half duplexes often come with their own detached private garages, not tandem, and significantly larger outdoor spaces like sizable backyards. For families with kids and pets, this private outdoor space is a game changer. And perhaps most enticing, many half duplexes include income-producing suites, which can serve as a vital mortgage helper, potentially making a half duplex even more affordable than a townhouse once that rental income is factored in. If you're teetering between a townhouse and a detached home, the half duplex is that powerful, often overlooked middle ground. Mistake number 8, missing the ultimate investment opportunity. After discussing all these pitfalls, you might be wondering, what should I be looking for? This brings us to my ultimate piece of advice, the one type of townhouse that always holds its value and is the best investment you can make, the wide plan corner unit. In Vancouver, developers are constantly building narrower and taller units to maximize land use. But these skinny, vertical homes are often less practical and comfortable. What you want is a wide plan unit, ideally at least 20 feet wide compared to the often 12-foot narrow layouts. A wide plan unit feels immeasurably more spacious and livable. If it's a corner unit, even better, as you'll benefit from windows on 3 sides, not just front and back, but also on one side, flooding the space with natural light. This combination creates a sense of openness that a narrow interior unit simply cannot match, making it far more comfortable and accommodating for a family. These wide plan corner units are rare commodities in our market. They are highly sought after, meaning they hold their value exceptionally well, even in softer markets, and often attract multiple offers. And here's another bonus. A wide plan unit is much more likely to accommodate a double garage with side-by-side parking, eliminating the tandem relationship tester headache and giving you the space and convenience you truly need. This is the property style I would personally choose for my own family, and it's the one I encourage all my clients to prioritize. Summary. So there you have it, the critical mistakes to avoid when buying a townhouse in Vancouver. We've covered everything from the hidden costs of different townhouse types and their strata fees to the unique lending requirements for ground-level units and the illusion of leasehold properties. We emphasize the non-negotiable importance of understanding your parking options and the desperate need for practical storage, especially for families. We broke down how square footage can be deceiving, highlighting the impracticality of stairmaster silos and reverse layouts, and stressed the necessity of assessing noise levels to avoid being a highway hostage. You now understand why considering long-term resale value, prioritizing 3-bedroom units over 2, and avoiding lipstick on a pig renovations are vital. And we introduced the often superior alternative of a half duplex, offering more land and fewer restrictions. Most importantly, I shared my top recommendation, the wide plan corner unit, the true gem in the Vancouver townhouse market. Purchasing a townhouse is a massive decision, and it's clear there are many layers of due diligence required. It can be overwhelming, but you don't have to navigate it alone. My team and I are here to guide you through every step, ensuring you avoid these costly mistakes and find a property that aligns perfectly with your lifestyle and financial goals. If you are ready to start your property journey, or if you have any questions about buying or selling property here in Vancouver, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can call or text me anytime. My contact information is right here on the screen and in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support, and I look forward to helping you find your perfect home. See you next time.